I just wanted to do a quick advanced human guide because I feel like a lot of people are stuck in playing the game on a reasonable level, but it just takes a lot of time to turn from intermediate to advanced by yourself. And I just played a lot of games during the past months, and I feel like I myself went from medium or like intermediate to advanced recently. So I think I'm uniquely qualified to give you some tips and help you improve. So let's talk about your hero. So usually with the melee hero, I usually do this and this. What you can also do is buy a this one scroll, and you can use that to heal your units if you're about to lose like 3 at the same time. It's an optional thing, but yeah, you can also put this away. And then you have it like this, and then maybe you can buy or you can grab some meat here, and that's fine. But you know, I usually started to buy this health pot because I used to lose my hero quite a few times early, and I was like, okay, I need this health pot. This is like basically the same as a teleport scroll. It gets you out of tricky situation, and I feel like if you have a trouble losing your hero early, get a HP pot and you will lose your hero less. Rage pot is extremely good to heal up your hero if it gets slow. Very efficient, and should have it on most melee heroes, I think. If you have a ranged hero, I don't get this one, and I don't get this one, but I do keep these two. And I still also buy 2 blinks and coin. You know, I think if you, let's say you are purple, you're here, right? And you don't get attacked. Completely plausible. You don't want to then be like, oh, I don't have a coin. They attack here or here, so now let me go somewhere. Like, you can then immediately teleport your hero to somewhere else and immediately start helping. Like if, yeah, you know, get a coin and blink. Blink is very cheap, gets you out of tricky situations. Okay, that's the hero. So let's make a front. How would I make my front as purple?
Say the word. Orders, right. What do you need?
So
Of course. Yes, my liege.
you can
Aye, my lord.
do this in
Orders.
different ways.
What do
You can
need?
use normal
Of
footmen,
course.
you can use these
Say the
footmen,
word, right.
you can
On
use
my
the
way.
cavalry.
Yes, my liege. What do you need? Aye, my lord.
Really
Say the
depends.
word, right.
It's not a
Orders,
super big
of
difference.
course. What do you need?
So you do
On
your
my
first
way.
line,
Yes, my liege. Say
you
the
make your
word.
Justice shall be done.
pikes behind,
Orders, on my way.
or more pikes.
What do you need?
You can
Orders.
use footmen.
Say the word.
It's not a super
Right.
big
Yes, my liege.
difference.
Say the word. Of course.
Keep your edges
Yes, my liege.
safe. And now you put your thingies to the side. But you know, this is an advanced guide. You should all know that.
What ails
You grab your priests from around the map.
required? Yes, my friend.
You control group them.
Is someone injured?
You grab your archers. Control group them.
Yes, my friend.
Okay. Now
Right away.
let's come to the first thing that people do
What do
in a
you
weird
need?
way. You don't want to like
Yes, my liege. Aye, my lord.
put all these units
Is
here.
there danger?
You don't want to
someone
put these units here and these units here and these units here. I don't know. Like, you know what happens
there
then?
danger?
The hero comes here. He plagues Cloud here, and it reaches like 20
What
units.
ails you?
So these priests
Is my aid
are all
required?
gonna
I am your
just
servant.
heal everything randomly.
What ails you?
So, okay. You don't want to have that happen. Plague Cloud is
Yes, my
the
friend.
primary tool of the undead early
I am
game.
your servant.
Your mission as human early game is to just defend against Plague Cloud. If your enemy just spams zombies at you
Yes, my liege.
without any hero, without any
Someone
Plague Cloud,
as you wish.
you know,
Say the word.
this should
What do you
hold.
need?
What ails you?
You have
Right
I have so many priests here from the start. This should hold for like
Is someone injured?
6
my
minutes,
aid
let's say,
required?
until these
Yes,
priests
my
run
friend.
out of mana.
Is someone injured? Right away.
By that time,
My aid
you
required?
can just make a few more priests.
What do you need?
What ails you? I'm here to help.
And
I come to cleanse this land. I come to cleanse this land. Yes, my
So
friend.
let's say I have
Is someone injured? Is my aid required?
this,
What ails you?
and I have
As
my
you wish.
backup
I
priest.
am your
Yes,
servant.
my
my friend. Of course.
So they spam him
Yes,
here.
Yes, my
friend.
liege.
These run out of
Is
mana.
someone injured?
Now I pull them
What
back,
ails you? As you wish.
and I
Of
put these
course.
here.
Is my aid required?
So now
I
they
am
heal
your
up
servant. Right away.
for a while,
As you wish.
until they run out of mana,
What
and then I
ails
bring
you?
these back
Of
here.
course. Right away. I am your servant.
And that's basically
Is my aid
how
required?
you all you
Right
need to
away.
do
Of course.
against a non-Plague Cloud hero push. Of course, eventually, even against non-hero, but especially against hero, your front line will
Yes, my liege.
start getting low.
Orders?
Is
You know,
my
you
aid
don't
required?
just let them die and replace them with new
What do you
melee.
need?
Even though I feel like you can early game, you know, you're giving the enemy gold, the undead needs gold in the early game, it's kind of bad. And you also want to conserve your melee. So, how do you solve this problem?
Yes, my lord.
The answer is you swap
Easy.
them out.
No one else available.
So,
That's it. I'm dead.
let's say we want to swap this guy out. How are we approaching the situation?
Say the
So,
word. Orders?
what I
Aye,
first
my
would
lord.
do
Of course.
is grab the
Yes, my
second or the reserve, some of the reserve,
Yes, my friend. Of
and
course.
block where I want to pull them out. So ideally I would take
Aye,
the
my lord.
pikeman because I
Say the
know I
word.
will block
On my
him
way.
out
Yes, my liege. Of course.
and put him
You
here.
need. Yes,
So I'm
my
still
liege.
blocking. I don't want like in case I make a mistake
Say the word.
and I swap them properly, them to immediately be on the priest. So you know I have like worst case
You need.
I can close this very easily.
Say the word.
Okay,
Orders?
so how do I swap this now? Okay, I pull him back.
On my way. Aye,
I
my
open
lord.
here.
Of course. Right.
Now,
Say the word.
you know, this is usually
Orders?
there here.
What do you need?
So I pull him back.
On my way. Aye,
Usually
my
that's
lord.
how I do it.
Say the word.
I make
Right.
sure this is closed. Now the zombie is here, like he moves forward.
What do you need?
And then you attacked him, this zombie gets low, I attacked him with this guy, and then as it dies, it moves here,
Yes, my
and I move this one here. And now this guy, these guys will attack this guy. So now
Aye, yes,
I
my
can
liege.
just
Right.
take him out,
Orders? Aye, my lord. Say the word. What do you need?
and refill
On
the
my
gap.
way.
And
Yes,
now
my
the
liege.
low
On
HP
my way.
unit is out. So what do I do now with the low HP unit?
Aye, my lord.
You would be
On
like,
my
oh,
way.
let me just have it here.
Right.
No, what I do,
Is my
at least
aid
if my priests are not completely full with mana,
Orders?
I send him back
Aye,
to
my
base.
lord.
You know, these units do regenerate health slowly. So if he stands here, he's just gonna drain your mana. And you know, priest mana is a very valuable resource early game. So I send him back to base. No, let's do it again
Right.
because
On
he's
my
already
way.
getting low.
Orders? Yes, my liege. Aye, my lord. What do you need? Of course. What do you need?
Sometimes they block. I
Orders?
think this
Yes,
might
my
block.
liege. Say the word. Right. What do you need? Of course. Orders? Aye, yes, my liege.
Okay,
Say
I
the
pull
word.
it back.
What do you need? On my
Here.
way. Say the word.
Here.
Right. Orders? Aye, my lord.
What? I guess I
Yes,
can.
my liege.
Refill the line.
What do you need? On my way. Of course. Yes, my liege.
What is it? That's it.
Say
I'm
the
dead.
word. Orders?
And again,
Word.
it's
Yes,
swapped,
my lord.
Say the
sending it
word.
back to base.
Of
Okay, you know, let's say these priests are all already
What is it?
quite low.
Word. Yes,
What do
my
you do
lord.
then?
Is there danger?
You should buy a mana scroll. But I would only say you buy a mana scroll
Yes.
if you already have
What ails you?
quite a lot of priests.
Is my aid
You know,
required?
if
The
the
light
game is like
is
in the
strength.
first
Is someone
20
injured?
minutes and you're out of mana, like I would
someone
just say make more priests unless you have like more than three sets of them, and sets I
my
mean like
aid
is a group
required?
of 12. So I
Yes,
feel
my
like it would be
Of
completely
course.
reasonable as purple to have
I
another
come to
6.
cleanse this land. I come to cleanse this land. Is my aid required?
And then, you
Is
know, if these get
someone
low now,
Yes,
I
my
swap them
friend.
out
I
for
am
this.
your servant.
And this maybe, you know, once
Yes, me
this
lord.
opens later,
Yes, my friend.
you can always keep them in reserve
Yes, my
here.
liege.
And worst case, if they do show up, you have some relatively low like mana
Orders?
priests
Yes, my liege.
I'm here to help.
already prepared
I
here.
stand for the light.
Is my
Okay.
aid required?
If you
As
get
wish.
plague
You
clouded,
need. Say the word.
Is someone
in this situation here.
right away?
You know, he puts the plague cloud right here. All of this is gonna
Yes,
get
my
plague
liege.
clouded.
What ails you?
So what do you do?
Is
These
someone
priests are
injured?
all gonna like
What is
start
I
frantically healing each other.
it? Yes, my lord.
What ails you? As you wish. Of course.
More work. What is it?
Well,
there danger?
that's a
Is
little
my
bit too much
aid
DPS.
required? Yes, my
Anyways,
friend.
these are all gonna frantically heal each other, and a lot of them are actually not even gonna heal this
What do you
thing.
need?
Is
So you're
someone
gonna
injured?
take more damage than necessary.
What ails you?
Also, the plague cloud only like
Yes,
causes
my
like
friend.
2 damage
Is
per
my
second.
aid required?
These things heal 15 health point with 5 mana, and they're gonna do that like every 2 seconds or every second. So they're gonna overheal a
I
bunch.
am your servant. Is
It's
my
very
aid
not
required?
efficient.
Right away.
So
Yes, my friend.
if you do actually get repeatedly plague clouded, you need to
someone
turn them
injured?
off automatic heal. And you need to manually
More work. What? No one else available. Yes, my lord. What
press
is
your
it?
front line.
That's it. What? I'm dead. If you
What
want.
ails you? Right away. As you wish.
You know, you can just
I am your servant.
often do it. Like it doesn't, you like. In case you're unsure whether you missed a unit, just
Of course.
press it. Like it's the same thing with just
Say the
pressing
word.
hold multiple times to make
Is my
sure that
aid
you got it.
required?
Light is my strength.
What you can also do, like you don't need to
Yes, my
keep
friend.
manually healing the
What
whole
ails you?
time. You know,
More work.
it's
Is
fine.
someone injured? Right away. Is my
I would do it a little
I
bit
am your
if
servant.
you focus,
Right away.
but if it's been like 20 seconds since the cloud happened, you can just turn it back on again.
course.
And then you do like half. You do half manual, half automatic. And then they overheal a little bit, but they don't overheal that much that you get drained within like a minute and everything is low
Is
HP.
someone injured?
And then if you have your
I am your
second
servant.
group of priests and you do like half,
As you wish. Yes, my friend.
you're already good to go. And then if you already like plague clouds blue and purple at the same
What
time,
ails you?
you know, you're
Is
basically
someone
already good. And then if you
Right
can
away.
combine swapping the melee,
Aye, my lord. Yes, my liege. What do you need? What do you need? Orders? On my way. Yes, my liege.
like
Is my aid required?
you basically don't lose any units anymore. And that's the crazy thing, at least when I noticed that. You know, it's completely possible to play the game without losing any units
Yes, my friend.
for like the first 10, 20, 30 minutes.
Of course. I am your servant.
Like even against Plague Cloud.
As you
It's
wish.
completely on the table. And these are basically the things
Right
that you
away.
need to do. You
I am your
have them
servant.
automatic heal. You don't have any unnecessary
Say the
units here.
word.
You keep your melee
Orders?
like
Say the
here in
word.
the back.
Your honor. Yes,
So
my
you have
lord.
them in reserve in case you need them.
What
You have
ails
your
you?
archers on the sides,
I'm here to
like
help.
here,
What is it?
like here and here.
Yes,
And
my
these
liege.
even
Aye,
a little
my
bit
lord.
further to the
Of
sides.
course.
You don't need to heal your archers early
Right.
game if they get low and they don't have necro. Basically
Is
no
my
use.
aid required?
And then if they hit the poison, you turn it off.
Of course.
You
As you
heal manually for a while. Then you focus. You know, if
What ails
the
you?
unit
Yes,
gets
my liege.
healed to full HP and then
my lord.
gets targeted again,
Yes, I can.
Say the
it
word.
stops healing. So you need
Yes,
to
my life. I am your
redo
servant.
it
Is someone injured? As you wish. Right away. Is my aid
quite a few times. Like every 10
What
seconds I
ails
would just
Of course.
redo them. So that is basically
Is someone
what you want to
injured? I am
do.
your
You
servant.
want to focus on your
ails you?
priest early game,
Is my
and
aid required?
like spend mana, like spend gold on priest early
Yes,
game.
my
Like
friend.
there's no reason
As you wish.
if you're starting priests
Is
which are
someone
like
injured? Of
10,
course. Is my
all out
aid
of mana,
required?
you need to
What do you
make more
need?
priests.
What ails you?
And I
am
feel
your
like
servant.
priests
Someone
are
injured.
better
Right
than
away. Is
scrolls,
my aid
at
required?
least early game.
What ails you?
And if you
Right away.
don't have a lot of priests.
Yes, my
You know,
friend.
priests come out
Is
with
my aid
200
required?
mana,
I come to cleanse What this ails land. you?
and they regenerate quite fast. A regen scroll only gives
Is
75
someone
mana
Yes,
for
my
the
friend.
priests surrounding. So unless you have like, so if you have 10 priests, let's say, you get 750 mana, and it's 200 gold.
Is my
By
aid
making 2 priests, I already get
come, my
400
friends,
mana,
this land
and they regenerate quite quickly. So in a few
What ails
minutes,
you?
these pay
course,
themselves
I am
off
your
in
servant.
terms of mana regeneration,
As you
because
wish. I
basically
am
they
your
only need to
servant.
pay off 500 mana.
Right away.
Yeah.
Is someone
So unless
injured?
you already have
What
20
ails you? Is my aid
priests or
required?
maybe some other
someone
adepts,
injured?
and you're here that
Yes,
all
I'm
need
here to help.
mana,
Yes,
and you
my
have
friend.
higher
Of
efficiency
course.
with that
I am
scroll,
your servant.
you know, you just make more
Is
priests.
someone injured?
Okay. You don't need to do the fancy micro where
Say
you
the
do,
word.
you know,
Right.
you do
Orders?
whoosh,
Yes, my
whoosh,
liege, of
whoosh.
course.
Even
Yes,
though I
my
feel like
liege.
it's the
On my
easiest,
way.
you can also
Orders? Let
attack
me
your
have it.
own unit, which aggroes them
What do you need?
to attack this one and this
Say
one,
the word.
and then, you know, you
Yes,
basically
my liege.
just
What do you need? Right. Say the word. Aye,
swap
my
it back
lord.
in
Right.
if they're not
Say the
looking.
word.
I don't like that method that much.
Yes, my liege.
What
You know,
ails
you can also,
What do you need?
when these
Orders?
units get low, by the
Yes,
way,
me lord.
No.
What is it?
then I would always micro, like
Say
just
the
a
word.
little bit.
Of course.
You know, it is
On
like
my
this.
way. You need? Aye, my lord.
This unit gets slow, I
Yes,
would
my
just
liege.
micro it a
Right.
little bit
Of
back.
course.
So now this is getting focused
Orders?
less and these
What do
two
you
more.
need?
And then, if
Say
these
the
two are
word.
actually only
Yes,
focused
my
and this
liege.
unit dies,
What do you need?
you
Yes,
can
my liege.
just
Orders? Say the word.
cycle
Aye,
it
my
out
lord. Orders? What do you
normally.
need? Say the word. On my way. Yes, my liege.
More work.
Okay. What if 3
You
units
want? Yes, me lord. What? No one
died
else
at the same
available.
time?
What is it? More work.
You know, your
What? Yes, me lord.
thing is really
Is
taking
my
a
aid
beating.
required?
Yes, my liege. Of course. Orders? Aye, my lord.
What ails you? As you wish.
Then you can try to kill, like
Say the
team
word.
kill it,
What
you
is
know,
it? More work.
my
instead
aid
of
required?
saving it because
Is
you're getting
someone injured?
overwhelmed. By
Yes,
the
my
way, you
friend.
don't want to send them all here.
What ails you?
What do you need?
Because you're
Right.
getting overwhelmed
the
and you
word.
can't do the swapping
Yes,
out.
my friend.
Orders?
That's too
On
much
my way,
APN
you
right
need?
now. Like you have 5 units
my
that get
liege.
low at the
Is
same
someone
time or
alight?
something.
Is my strength. Is my
Like
aid
3.
required? Right away.
What you can do is you
Say
take
the
your
word.
archers, maybe you
What
have a
is
ball
it?
of archers here, and you
That's it. I'm dead.
try to kill it yourself.
Orders?
Yes, me lord.
It's quite hard to do, but
What do you need?
it is still possible to, like,
Yes, my liege.
you know, instead of 9 kills for the zombies, by saving your units, you deny the kills for the zombies by killing your own units. It's not gonna
Yes, my
spawn
liege.
a zombie
What do you
either,
need?
and it's gonna
Orders?
not give them gold.
Say the word.
So, harder to do than swapping, to be honest. You should mostly swap, and usually by the time, you know, if you're that much overwhelmed to not be able to swap, you're also too overwhelmed to be able to kill them. But still something to be aware of, that killing is an option. Okay, but yeah, you need to make sure that they are like really like under, I don't know, 30 HP, like under 5% roughly. Okay, so that's basically
my
early game already. So then what you
Is
need to
my
be
age
aware
clear?
of are the events, of course. I'm not gonna talk about Graveyard and Frigate. Like, I'm not gonna talk about them too much because I feel like a lot of them are,
Of course.
like, people have figured out graveyards. Most people.
Yes, my liege.
The things that I will point out are things that I feel like people don't do, which is the Frigate in a few spots. The Frigate
word.
can
Aye, my
hit
lord.
yellow here, and hit red here, and gray here. So if you're gray,
Yes, my liege. Orders?
you want to send
Yes,
at
my
least
lord.
one line of
Ready?
units here,
What? Righto.
and
If you want.
at least one line, maybe
is it?
more here.
Off I go then.
Yes, my liege.
More work.
Say the word. What do you need?
And of course, like as red, I pull all my guardsmen here from. I take these
What is
ones
it?
and just send them
Alright.
here. Maybe except for 2 because I want to place
More
the
work. What?
guard the front.
Yes, me lord.
Then, you know, there's infested, but I feel like, you know, to really grasp infested,
Orders?
I feel like you need to just die to infested or open up a solo game and look at them, especially if you play red. Then there's the rocks and swamp, which are the other good events. As the rocks and swamp, you need to prepare it and send melee and block the gaps in advance. At least 2 lines. 1 line isn't gonna cut it with swamp and rocks. Maybe here, because you have units usually here. But I feel like this needs to be 2 line deep. This needs to be 2 line deep. And this also needs to be 2 line deep. And then you're kind of good. And these are basically all the dangerous events. Graveyards and most of the popular frigate spots, people, I think, are doing a good job. And that's why I also wouldn't do them as undead. But yeah. So, okay. You know, eventually the zombies become too strong and you retreat.
Yes, my
You know,
What do you need?
What ails as you wish.
Orders?
Your honor.
and so on.
At once.
Let's even say
Say
you
the
get
word.
completely
On my
overwhelmed.
way.
Your units
Yes, my
die
My
and
aid
everything.
required.
You know, you
Yes,
need to have a
Say
quick
the word. What do you
safety line here.
need? Yes, my liege, of
But
course.
you know
Yes, my
this will
liege.
only hold
Right,
them
orders?
for like
Say the word.
Your honor.
You know-
Absolutely. Yes, my
Yes,
lord.
my friend.
2 minutes or
I
something.
swear
Is
it.
there
What do
danger?
you do now?
Command me.
You know, you
Yes,
basically
your
know you're
honor.
done for. Your team is not helping you.
Justice
Okay.
shall be done.
What I would do
What is it?
is
Yes,
I
my
would
lord.
send
Is someone in
I am your
my
Orders?
archers. Let's say I have more. Let's upgrade these first. Basically, you want to hotkey this.
Research complete. Research complete.
Let's say these are your upgrades.
Research complete.
Is someone injured?
Research
Ready to
complete.
Yes,
Work.
my friend. Is
Ready
my
to
aid
work.
required?
Ready to work.
And
Ready to work.
these are the units basically. You know, your front is breaking.
Say the word.
Research
More
complete.
work.
You can blow the rocks.
Danger?
Your hero is here.
I stand for
I
the
would
light.
say you abandon your base.
A
And
sound
abandoning
plan.
your base means
Justice
teleporting
shall
them
be done.
out
What
to
ails
somebody
you?
else.
Ready to work.
You know, you have a
Ready for
bunch of
war,
archers
ready
here.
to
What
work.
I come to cleanse this
Ready
land.
Some
to
crossbows,
Ready for
priests.
My aid
Okay,
required.
and you have no
Might
melee
is
to
my
hold.
strength. For honor.
So you scan
Sirs,
around the
my
map.
friend.
You look. Okay, you're yellow. Who is yellow?
I am not.
Does he have
Yes, my
armor
liege.
upgrades? Does he have any units here?
What do you need?
Does your teal have any units
Is
here?
someone
Does
injured?
your light blue have
Orders?
any units here? Okay, or even purple if you play another color. And then, you know, if I see my yellow
Yes, my
is
liege.
set up,
On my
okay,
way,
has like
indeed.
2 armor upgrades and a bunch of units here,
Justice
but not
shall
too
be
many
done.
units. Like, you know, if there's 3 people already in that base, you know,
Say the
maybe I
word.
should then go to teal because, you know, too many cooks
Yes, my liege. Say the word.
are not good.
I, my lord.
So you don't want to have
Right.
too much. And so, but anyway, what I would do is in this situation, I would maybe get the armor upgrades
I'm here to help.
and start
Research complete.
What
evacuating.
ails you?
Maybe
Right
send
away, of
some of the
course.
priests away because
Yes,
I don't
my
want to
Is
send
my
too many
aid
priests. I want to first focus on the archers.
injured?
Okay, now I bring them here.
Is there danger?
I
The light is my
immediately
strength.
teleport back,
A sound plan.
grab a scroll on the way
I stand
back
for the
out
light.
while I upgrade my second armor,
I'm here to help. Of course. Yes, my friend. I
Research
am your
complete.
servant.
spend my gold
Ready to
on maybe some
Ready
archers,
to work.
do another trip,
For honor.
Do you require
send him
aid?
here,
What ails
The
you?
light is my strength.
teleport back one more time,
I'm here to help. Of course. As you wish. Justice shall be
and you
done.
know, just
Of
repeat
course.
that.
Certainly.
Maybe grab a region
stand
scroll
for the
because
light.
we're basically abandoning
Is
this
my
base,
aid required?
Yes, my
Justice
lord.
shall be done. Certainly.
and teleport out again.
Is someone injured?
At this
Is
point,
my
you know,
aid
you can be
required?
like, what do I want to do?
Right away.
Do I want to save
What
these
I stand
priests?
for the light.
Are they useful
The light
here?
is my strength.
Or do I want to kill them?
For
No, I
honor.
think
Yes,
I would
my friend,
probably
as you wish.
save them,
Is someone injured?
but there's too many
Is my
units
aid
here,
required?
so these ones
Yes, my friend.
you can kill.
Is someone injured? What ails you?
to deny the enemy.
Here to help. What ails
Kills. And that's basically
you? Is there danger?
how you
Is
abandon
there danger?
a base.
Of course,
Now,
yes, my
when
friend.
the zombies are gonna
Say
come
no more, of
here,
course.
What? Off I go then.
he has
do you
DPS
need?
that he would normally not have. You have fairly good upgrades. You got the armor upgrades at the
I
end,
stand
and that's
for the
fine.
light.
No,
A
I would
sound plan.
even go as far as if you have your militia,
Ready to work. Ready to work.
I'm here
Ready
to
to
help.
work.
A sound.
I'm gonna grab them too.
More
And if
work.
Yale base is still empty, and I feel like I've already filled up
shall be done.
Teal quite a bit,
Certainly, of course.
I'm also gonna save my militia because now I put them on 2 armor. Now they're quite, you know, they're not like trash anymore. You know, 2 armor militia, 2 attack, 2 armor militia at a yellow that maybe has like, I don't know, 30-40 ranged here.
I stand
That
for the
is
light.
quite a significant difference.
What
So
ails you?
definitely
What is it?
worth
Yes, my lord.
spending 250 gold for.
Justice shall
You don't save the militia if,
strength.
you know, you have a light blue that already has like
Orders?
5 different calls in his base and like all of this filled with range, all of this filled with range. You know, you, of course you should not bring a militia and you're better off just killing it off. But even if that is the case, there is already 5 people here. You know what, send them to Teal.
thirst for
If Teal has like more than 10 melee units here, send them to Teal. It's gonna make quite a big of difference. It's gonna make a difference whether he just get dice to spam or not. Right. So now
The light
there's
is my
basically
strength.
one last
My
thing to
aid
talk
required.
about,
Is someone
and that
injured?
is how do you
Is my
defend
aid
against
required?
BP,
Is someone
which is
injured?
the Blood Plague,
Yes,
which
my
is
friend. I am your servant. Of course.
spell of Necromancer
What ails you?
to
Servant.
kill your
A sound plan
your range or like
What do you need?
is my aid
units
required.
behind
Right away.
the front line.
I am your
Yes,
servant.
my liege. On my way.
So
Orders?
for
Aye,
last
my lord.
stand, you know, your Teal. Let's upgrade him too.
Research complete.
I smell magic
Research
in the
complete.
What ails you? I smell magic in the air. Right away.
And this is basically how
Work.
you would set up, how
someone
I would
injured?
set up
I
the
smell
last
magic
stand.
in
Yes,
the air.
my
Is
lord.
my aid required?
You
Of course. What ails
put your archers here.
Yes, my
I put my priest in the back, turn auto heal off.
Say the word.
You can maybe
Aye, my lord.
bring
Is
these
someone-
adapts
I
and
am
put
your
them
servant.
What is it?
in this
Orders?
corner.
Right.
Is my aid required?
I section them off
Yes,
Say
my
the
lord.
word.
Magic in
Right.
the air.
with a mage
Yes,
card.
Righto. More work.
Be quick. Time is mana. I'll handle it. Leave it to me. The blood elves easily done. Get on with it.
So,
Is
and I
someone injured?
basically fill
What
this.
ails you?
So
Right away.
now
What ails
these are
you?
sectioned off from this
Yes,
here.
my
So
liege.
with BP, the worst enemy is the chain reaction, right? You know, if this
Is my
BP's
aid required?
this dies,
Yes,
this
my
dies,
friend.
this dies, this
Is
dies, this
someone
dies, this dies,
injured?
this dies, this dies. Because all these units are solo HP, you don't have time to stop the chain reaction. These,
Be
what
quick.
these things do,
Time is mana.
they are not gonna
What
die to
ails
ghouls spawning here if you react in any possible way. Like, and you have like
Thirst
2
for
minutes to
magic.
react.
Stand for the light.
So this, if a
Is my
BP is
aid
here, this is just gonna kill
Is
this,
someone
not
injured?
this, and worst case, not your whole base.
Get on with
So
it.
if you're really
Very
paranoid,
Watch.
you know, you
the blood
can
elves
block
await.
all
Leave
these
it to me.
these
Thirst for
secondary
magic. The blood elves away.
things as
Get
well.
on with it. Watch and learn. Easily done. Be quick. Time is mana.
So now,
Yes, my friend.
if this dies, they're not gonna break
Is
here.
there
They're
danger?
also not gonna break
What
here.
ails you?
So worst case, you know, you still have these
Is my
ones up.
aid
What is it?
required?
But that's basically just a safety insurance. If you
Get
play
on with
well,
it. I'll handle it.
you don't really need it,
Very clever.
but I would still
I'm here
recommend.
to help.
So, okay,
Blood elves
how do you
away.
defend BP in this situation?
Yes, my
Get down,
friend.
Yes,
Sparky.
me lord.
First,
All right.
well, you know, you can put
More
some of the
work.
archers
Off I
here
go
so they
then.
don't actually
More work. Yes, me lord.
get
Is it?
plague
Off I
clouded.
go then. Yes, me lord.
and
Yes, me lord. All right. Yes, me lord.
but if you know this,
Righto.
you know, this is how the base looks like.
Easily done.
You have a healthy
I
amount of
thirst for
mage
magic.
cards here.
I smell magic
So-
in the air. I
this is
smell magic in
this is
the air.
reasonable to defend
Time
this
is my
base,
mana.
then you should start
I stand for the
bringing some scrolls
Get on with it.
and preparing them,
Certainly.
because the cooldown for the scrolls is quite
I
high.
stand for the light. The light
Um,
is my strength.
So you don't want to only start buying scrolls when the heroes are here and they start plaguing you, because at that
The Blood
point, you
Elves
know,
await.
they're
on
gonna
with it.
win you
The
by
Blood
war of
Elves
attrition,
await. Be
and
quick.
it's just a matter of time until you
Just
run out of
mana.
scrolls, run out of heals, and you die.
I'm here to help.
So when
Orders? Of course.
they
What
put
is
these
it?
things
I
here,
stand for the light.
um,
Certainly.
basically
Of course.
when they get low,
What?
like 20%
The
HP,
light is my strength.
and you want to pop the scroll, everything regens,
Is someone injured?
and you're fine.
I'm here
Because
to help.
if they cast PP on a high HP unit and everything is high HP,
More
you know, you
work.
can either
I'll
pull
pay
it out,
then.
I thirst for magic.
justice.
and
I
basically
thirst for
Yes,
magic.
me lord.
isolate it
The
here
Blood Elves
The
await.
light is my
Get
strength.
on with it.
and
For my father.
can kill it
the king.
yourself.
A sound plan. Justice is
Be
coming.
quick. Time is mana.
I stand for the light.
And everything is fine.
I'm here to help.
Because if you kill it yourself, only two little things spawn, and you know, they're
Get
not a
on
big
with it.
threat anymore.
Watch and
Especially
learn.
like
Is there
if they're isolated
What
from
is
the
it?
Is there
archers.
danger?
What you
Yes,
can
my
also
friend.
do is, that's
Is
where
my
also,
aid
you know, I
required?
would consider saving priests.
Of course.
You know, if they put the plague cloud here,
Say the
and
word.
this is all the archers you
It
have,
Someone injured.
you can bring them, not have them manually heal, and just click it all through. In this situation, unless you have like 50 archers here,
What ails you?
and your priests are like blocked
Yes, my
5
friend.
rows from the first,
I thirst
Archer.
for magic. What ails
priests can actually defend BP quite okay. You can also like turn the automatic heal on and off, whatever.
As
And
you
then, you know, if they're really
I
out of
am your
mana,
servant.
put them back to the base,
Of
or
course.
you know, turn them off from auto heal again and put them to the side. This is but
I
mostly to
stand
buy
for the
time. If
someone
they,
injured.
you know,
Light is
like
my
this is like
strength.
so you
Is my
save
aid required?
your first
Is someone
your
injured?
first 2 region
I'm here
scrolls,
to help.
something like that. Anyways, so what if
What? Yes, me lord.
um,
What is it?
I
Yes,
get
my lord.
BP'd here
Justice
and
shall
the
be done.
things and this also
Say the
play
word.
clouded. I'm out of region
here to help.
scrolls. What do I do?
For honor.
Well,
I stand for the light.
you have two
The light is
two
my
options. You
strength.
either pull it
More
back and
work.
isolate it,
Yes, me
basically
lord.
what we did before,
All right.
which
Well,
is
if I go
not
then,
always that
More
easily
work.
possible.
Yes, me lord.
Or you kill it,
What
because
is
if you
it?
kill it, I said, you know, the big ghoul, which is 1000 HP and everything,
What?
and
Yes, me
tanky
lord.
and damage, it
What?
doesn't spawn.
Justice shall be done.
So you need
More
to
work.
consider, does the ghoul,
Is there
or like
danger?
do the small
What
things,
is it?
or
What?
if
What
you make a
is it?
mistake, also the
Alright.
ghoul.
I'm here to help.
Yes,
But
me
usually,
lord.
you know, it's reliable to kill the unit without spawning the ghoul if you try to kill it. Like, I've basically never seen one killing the unit or trying to kill the unit and the ghoul spawning. Doesn't really happen. So you need to analyze if you
Help
kill
me.
the
What?
unit yourself and only the
there
2 little
danger?
things spawn,
The light is my
will
strength.
they
What?
initiate
Lord.
and trigger a chain reaction that
I
kills all
stand
your
for the
archers?
light.
And what do you base this decision
Certainly.
upon?
What is it?
It's
Is there danger?
how healthy are the
Orders.
archers?
Will it be hotshot?
Do you have militia
Justice shall be
bowmen
done.
More
mixed
work.
in?
Righto.
Do you have
Light is
an
my
health
strength.
scroll? And
More
how much
work.
armor do you have? You know, there's like 2 extremes. On the one hand, you have like no militia here,
I
and
stand
everything
for
is
the light.
3
What?
armor, and you have no
Yes, my
priests in
friend.
here. You know, then
I'm here
you
to help.
and everything is
Help me.
The light
full
is my
HP
strength.
because you know you pop the health scroll. You know, you
What
can
is
just
it?
click it
Yes,
down.
me
You can
lord.
just click it down, and
Is there
these
danger?
things
Say
will
What is
not
it?
I stand
kill
for the
anything
light.
whatsoever.
I'm here to help.
But
A
you know, if
sound
you have militia mixed in,
justice
if
shall be
things are 0
work.
armor, then
done. Is there danger? Of course.
and things is low
What ails
I
HP,
stand for the light.
then clicking it down will cause a chain reaction because these things will like die to 1 hit or maybe 2 hits. So then this dies, and then this dies, like it, and the chain reaction is already started, right?
The light
So
is strength.
then what
For
you
honor.
basically only hope is
Of course.
if you don't have a health scroll, because if you have a health scroll, usually then
Work.
can, you know, you like this is low
What is
HP,
it?
like everything is low HP, this is like 10%, it gets PP'd. You pop a health
What
scroll,
is it?
maybe
Yes,
you
me
grab a
lord.
priest,
Is my aid required?
you heal it,
Yes, me lord.
Is my aid required?
Oh, work. Right.
you isolate it, or you make
Yes,
it
my
free,
liege.
you isolate it,
What?
you kill it.
On my way.
What if you don't have a
Justice
health
shall be
scroll?
done.
Because,
is
you know,
it?
if you have scroll, maybe you can even just kill it. But yeah, you know, if you have serious simulation mixed in and priest, that's starting to get dangerous.
Yes, me lord.
I stand for the light.
But then, you know, if this gets,
Is
okay,
there
let's say,
danger? I'm here
let's
to help.
do a little bit of a
Alright.
worse scenario. Let's really
Alright.
pack
Say
it
the
up.
word.
What? All right. What is it?
Is there danger? Certainly.
Yes, my
Let's say everything is like
I stand for the light.
60%
The
HP
light
and this
Yes,
gets
my
PP'd.
liege.
Justice shall be
And I don't have a scroll.
Say the word.
At this point, the only thing you can try to do
Yes,
is
me
make
lord.
some more space.
Off I go
You know,
then.
like
Work.
pull all this
Yes,
back,
me lord.
create space between
Say the word.
the
Orders.
What is it?
the
Yes,
BP
my
unit and any other
The
unit.
light is my strength.
Bring any melee you
right
have in
What do you
your
need?
like anywhere
If someone
close,
injured- I'm here to help.
and then
Foul.
kill it at the end. And then, you know, there is
Justice
like, you know,
shall be
it
Yes,
done.
would
my liege.
like I have space here, but if it's more packed, maybe there's only this
Is there
space, and if
danger?
this is like
I stand
50%
for the
HP,
light.
you know, there is some risk it's gonna die, but you already reduced
I'm
it
here to
so
help.
much.
A sound
If-
What do
plan.
you need?
There's at least
Lord,
some
yes,
Say
space,
the word.
What?
and they need to travel a bit.
What is it?
Orders.
It's gonna give you like 1 or 2 seconds
More
that you
work.
need for your
Is
archers
there danger?
to
I
manually
stand
hit
for the light.
the small things,
What?
Yes,
The
my
light
liege.
is my
which you
strength.
should do, by the way. Like, you know, if
Justice shall be
Yes,
done.
me lord.
if the small
What is it?
little
Yes, me lord.
creeps
Justice shall
spawn,
be done.
you should focus fire them, or
Do you
but just
require aid?
redoing the attack move should be fine, or like, you know,
stand for the
TP,
light, my friend.
blink
The
with the
light
gray
is my
here and do the
strength.
Q, whatever you have. But yeah, that is basically everything to BP. I think you want to stop the chain reaction and everything. If
More work.
you see, you know, the BP happen, the one last thing you
What
can
is
do
it? All right.
if
Is
they
there
are
danger?
killing this unit,
Yes,
and
my
maybe,
lord.
you know,
What is
one
it?
unit already turned into ghoul. But then you kill the first ghoul, and the second
Yes,
ghoul
me
is
lord.
hitting this unit, and it's like, it's already like 50% HP now, and it's
Say the
about to
word.
die. The ghoul is still like basically full
I'm here to
health,
help.
you know.
Orders.
More work.
You
No
kill your
one else
archer,
available.
you last hit it, and then it won't spawn into zombie, and the ghoul needs to go to the
More
next
work.
one, and now this one hits it for 2 times,
I guess
and
I
then you
can.
last hit this unit. So
you need?
theoretically, and
Yes,
also in
me lord.
practice, but it's
What?
one of the
Right.
more hard
Off I
things
go
to
then.
do.
What is it? More work.
The last way to
Yes, my liege.
deny
On my
the chain
way.
reaction is
Say
by
the word.
last hitting your own units. So the ghoul doesn't last
What
hit
is
it,
it?
so you know the chain reaction doesn't happen. Then, what else would you need to take care of
Is there
when
danger
taking care
or
of
honor?
PP? Is if they have Fletch, you know, it becomes more tricky because they can sleep
I'm
here,
here to
they
help.
can make things
What?
invulnerable,
Yes, me lord.
makes it
Yes, me lord.
quite a little
Yes,
bit more
me lord.
tricky.
Off I go
So,
then.
but you know, you can figure that out
More
yourself.
work. Righto.
I haven't figured it out that
What is it?
myself
What?
either,
Yes, me
but
lord.
Lich is not
What is
picked
it?
that often.
I
I feel like
stand for
so.
the
Yeah,
light.
whatever. Also, you know, I feel like
Yes, my liege.
light blue is not a great last stand base because you kind of need 2 region scrolls to be safe against BP unless you have the yellow hero. So I don't know. I would say if you have struggle dealing with BP,
Say the
just
word.
don't do light blue last stand. Yeah, I feel like that is be covered. So what else is there to talk about? Maybe upgrades. I feel like upgrades, just like some other things, people are doing a good job. You know, you get your armor upgrade
Research
first,
complete.
make some ranged upgrades for in basically max out these two, and then basically
Research
get
complete.
melee attack and ranged armor in a situationally based on what call you are, based on whether they have necro, whether you have archers for last stand, those kind of things. But yeah, you know, the usually you want to. I feel like
Justice
with your
shall be
first
done.
1000 gold, you do not really want to rush the first armor upgrade or range upgrade immediately. Prioritize
The
getting,
light is my strength.
you know, hero items, blink coins, rage pots, and even priests. You know,
Order.
sometimes, you know, as
Command
rad,
me.
you can rush the ranged upgrade because
What
you
is
know
it?
you don't need any
One
extra
word.
priests.
Off I go then.
But, you know, as Grey, for example, I don't know.
What
I would
ails
say
you?
get more
Right away.
priests. So, and as last thing, something that basically nobody does, which I feel like
What do you need?
people should do more, and I also don't, start denying buildings way more. Like, way more. You know, if you're red and, you know, I feel like just like, kill these things. Like, if you're never gonna hold this, you know, kill these things. If you're gonna abandon this, you know, kill these towers. Like, one should ideally, if you play perfect, you you kill all the buildings, kill all the units, and the undead has nowhere to basically get money from. So they're gonna be weaker, which means like less cards or less upgrades, and you're gonna have an easier game. And if everybody does that, you know, at that point we need to rebalance the game because undead become too weak. So just saying, you know, the skill ceiling is so far up there. If you make sure to always kill your towers and your barracks before retreating, that's quite a big deal. But yeah, I feel like that's everything. So I hope this helped.